Because this is such a serious subject, I want you all to know that all preppers do have a sense of humor. All cheapskates do have a pretty good sense of humor. And to prove that, I am going to show you an example of just one of the 1,000 different ways I think about trolls who troll on my food videos. And I'm going to name this one the hypocritical food Nazi. I'll show you.
Dear Prepper Princess, the food you eat is very unhealthy and you are going to die of cancer. I eat nothing but a raw vegan diet and I am so healthy and happy. I am better than you. Quit trying to kill your subscribers and get a clue. Drinks don't have calories.
Hello everyone, I am Prepper Princess, the author of Living on Almost Nothing. If you are interested in purchasing this book, I will go ahead and leave a link down in the description box below. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, is a collection of countries that are dedicated to the defense of threats by communist countries, and it's intended to non-aggressive political cooperation and peace. The countries included in NATO are Belgium, Denmark, France, Iceland, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, the UK, and the United States of America. All countries not included in NATO are considered to be a threat against democracy and are largely communist countries or dictatorships that are not dedicated to the true freedom of their citizens. Russia has invaded Kiev, Ukraine, in an attempt to reestablish them back into the political and legal ideologies of Russia, which is a communist country. The timing of this invasion comes after an embarrassing military issue correlating with the United States, leaving $83 billion in high-tech weaponry and equipment to the Taliban. Again, an embarrassing collapse of Afghan security forces and departure of U.S. troops overseas. This left the U.S. looking extremely weak and lacking competent leadership. In a nutshell, we look like a bunch of idiots, so Putin knows how stupid we are and that it is a really good time for him to strike and invade, knowing that if he does, we will still have our thumbs up our butts because we are so incompetent that we fart while talking to a duchess at a COP26 summit and fall asleep during climate conferences. What better time to initiate an invasion than when our leadership is at their absolute weakest point? So he did. A good move on his part, despite what the media is telling us, which is only what they want us to hear. The U.S. military is involved. I personally can attest to this due to my personal relationships with several people that are active military. We are involved. I cannot tell anyone without a sound mind does not want another world war. If we were to go to war again, it is almost certain that nuclear weaponry would be involved. You might be thinking, so what? So we go ahead and nuke them, we go home, and we're still the biggest badasses with the most awesome military in the world because we're all sorts of awesome. Well, no. No, it does not matter where a nuclear bomb goes off. Any nuclear bomb going off will have extreme and dire consequences to the entire world. It can black out the sky with nuclear fallout that lasts for several years. The winds can carry that into the sky, and it can darken the sun. Less sun equals less food. Less sun equals less solar equals less power. Nuclear fallout can contaminate our water supply and make it pretty much undrinkable. A contaminated water supply then creates disease. Hospitals become overrun with patients and medications run out because we're no longer producing them. People then die needlessly secondhand from a nuclear bomb that fell thousands of miles away. The Bible said it, Nostradamus said it, Edgar Cayce said it, several others have also prophesied a third world war. Nobody wants it. I do not want it. And Russia already has amassed over 100,000 troops in Kiev, and newsky.com has indicated that a full invasion of Ukraine by Russia could spread conflict around Europe, and it could even trigger a third world war. Citizens living in Kiev are panicking. Many are fleeing for safety while bombs are going off, and several have been too late. Bank runs have already taken place, of course, and people are taking out as much money as they possibly can so that they can get as far away from the fighting as they can. People are often taking cover in the city's underground stations, and they're finding safety pretty much wherever they can. Grocery stores have been completely empty for a week. The dollar in Kiev is down nearly 30% due to the U.S. sanctions put on Russia because of the conflict. Russians can no longer put their money in several different banks controlled by NATO, so this means that their dollar is no longer worth nearly as much. Since we have now put sanctions on Russia, they will likely retaliate by not allowing us to receive their oil, which is where we get a quarter of our imported oil, because, we killed the pipelines under our new leadership, because, who needs to be energy independent anyways? So our gas prices are going up even more, despite being nearly double the price it was less than 2 years ago. Same here. This also means higher grocery prices amidst the highest food inflation period in our generation. The cost of getting the products to the stores is going to get much higher, much higher. Don't forget that plastic is made from oil, and oil is in everything from shampoo bottles to shampoo and toothpaste to cleaning products and pretty much anything else. Get your stuff now. Anything that comes in a plastic bottle, and do everything you possibly can to make it last, because the next few years are going to be a wild ride. It is more important now than ever to be prepared. Have extra food and water on hand, but also have ways to cook it via a propane camp stove or what have you. Have your backup power ready to go, whether it is gas or solar. Stock up on any medications that you need to take on a regular basis. Have alternative forms of lighting, such as solar bulbs, candles, or whatever your preference is. Have ways to do simple tasks in your household in an alternative manner, like laundry. Just be ready. I teach preparedness on this channel, and I have mostly been focusing on financial preparedness. Do not forget that despite all of the conflicts and the crap going on in the world, the most likely scenario is that you are going to see old age, and you do not want to be living in poverty when you get there. So while we prepare for the worst, we must also prepare for a normal life. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out.